Hi everyone. Today we're going to dive into an important aspect of managing your inventory and supply chain, and that would be landed cost. So sometimes the price you pay supplier is just the starting point of your actual costs, and other costs like freight, duty, insurance, and perhaps other handling fees can significantly affect your bottom line. And Acumatica's landed cost functionality empowers you to be able to capture and manage these other costs, giving you a crystal clear picture of your true product expenses or costs. So we're going to take a look at a scenario where I'm going to order something from overseas, and I have the supplier's invoice price, but what about the shipping costs or the customs duties or perhaps insurance premiums? If you're expensing these items, you're operating with not complete cost information for these specific items. That's going to lead to things like inaccurate pricing, reduced margins, or perhaps poor business decisions. So landed cost features are going to help us solve these problems to capture those costs and allocate these expenses associated with bringing the goods into your warehouse. And now let's take a look at how that works. So here is my Acumatica dashboard. We're going to take a look at, first of all, stock items here, and where I'm going to set up a item as a stock item. And under my price cost information of my item, I can see that the last cost I bought this at was 0, and my average cost is also 0. So I'm going to now create a purchase order, and I'm going to go ahead and then enter receipt for the item, and then see how the landed cost function is going to be able to give us real time look into the cost of what we're bringing into the warehouse and how these will all update for us using the landed cost functionality. Okay, so here now is my purchase orders, and I'm going to go ahead and create the receipt for it in where the supplier has shipped it to me. My warehouse now is ready to receive it, and what I've purchased here is 100 widgets, and the cost of it was $100. And I'm not going to create the bill for this now. You know what? Actually, I will create the bill. And then what I'm going to do is release this purchase receipt so that it goes into my inventory. It will create my invoice for me. And let me enter in a vendor number for the invoice. And then once this posts through to me, I now should be able to see that the last cost for this item will update for me. And let's just give that a second to generate for me. And once that's done, there now, let me go click into my stock item. Let me do refresh of the item. And that should then show me the last cost this item came in from my supplier. There's my item. There's my last cost. Sure enough, there's $100. Now, what I'm going to do next is now go into my landed costs functionality, and we'll be able to set up landed cost based on the different components such as freight duties, customs, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go into my purchases here. There's my landed cost functionality. I get into that here now, and I'm going to create a new landed cost. And here up at the vendors, my vendors are set up so that specific vendors that bring in, say, ocean, air, transportations, customs, and so forth. I've set up multiple ones of them already. So there, let me select the vendor that has billed me for this item. And then down below on the landed cost here, I'm going to now be able to select things like, yes, this is customs. How is it distributed? Customs are going to be distributed by cost. I could have miscellaneous by quantity, transportation by weight, so on and so forth. Or I could in fact even do a manual allocation if I needed. So once I've done that, I can now go into my details. I'm going to add a purchase order receipt. Now here's going to be a list of all the different receipts. This is the one we had just received. I'm going to go ahead and add the purchase order receipt. And once I'm done, I'm going to close up that window. There is going to now be the receipt for my 100 with my weights and my purchase order number as a reference. Let me go back to my landed cost tab here, and I'm going to add that the landed cost code here was for, in fact, customs, because this is my customs vendor. And there now I can say that the amount that was billed to me, and we'll call it $999. And once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead, save it. And when I go back into the details here, you see that the total amount gets distributed to that one line. Now, had I had additional lines, that would have allocated based on the rules I've set out as a landed cost cost type. Let me go ahead and remove the hold. Let me now save that and release this into my inventory, update my costs for me so that now I'll be able to see this in real time. My posting is complete. Let me go back into my stock items again. And there's my inventory, my stock items. And here I'm going to go pick that item that we had been processing. There now, let me go into my price cost tab. And then sure enough, my average cost now becomes $109.99. That's how the pricing will update for me. And because on the settings here, my valuation method is set to average, that average cost there would be reflected in things like my analysis, my cost of goods sold, all my reporting, so on and so forth. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope this was useful to you.